Hey there guys, welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa V3, Killing Harmony. We did not kill Harmony last time, but we are investigating the murder of Miu. So I think I've already actually looked at these things. After never show, so they all say the same. So I do want to say what I've kind of thought about this. So if we have a cell phone here that they use in order to make Kaito log out, I'm also wondering if there was a open connection, and so this follows what we heard. But it's not that we didn't hear it through we heard it through the scene transition. I wonder if the cell phone also let us hear it, or what could even also be the case. If Kaito was logged out from this phone and this phone never disconnected, I wonder if you could actually hear what was going around Miu in the real world if the cell phone is something Miu had on her and it's just digitized here. So if it's not an actual in-game item, it's something that was part of Miu's avatar because she has a cell phone in real life. In that case, we could have heard it in the real world with our actual ears and just perceived ourselves as hearing it in here because we were logged in. That's also a strong possibility. Strong possibility. The other thing I'm wondering, we are not allowed to go down here, but I'm wondering if that's just because if someone passes through here and goes down, couldn't they cross the river with that plank here? Because when you look at the map, there is a opposite shoreline, and they could use that to pass through instead of having to necessarily come across here where, you know, the water, because it seems like you need, the river's slightly too far here. But I'm wondering if there's rocks on the other side. Let me actually look at that real quick. Because we know for a fact that there's rocks where we found the plank. Where's the map? Map of the mansion. I'll read the map. Map of the world. Okay, it does not look like we actually have any rock, because we can use rocks there, but I don't know how that we get across the river on this side. Unless, well, no, you can't get in the water anyway. I was going to say they could just, jump in the water and go down, but you can't get in the... Huh. Let's don't have that figured out. Let's go to the chapel. Let's see what we can find out in the chapel. We already investigated the crime scene. What's wrong, Keep? I was going to say, did I actually talk to these guys? Is they bothering you? Well, I just remembered something. I think the whispering I overheard might be relevant to the case.
Yes.
I not intend to eavesdrop, but I did hear it. Shortly before we gathered at the chapel and dispersed to begin searching. Oh yeah, before we split up, I want to ask you something, Miu. It seemed Kokichi and Miu had made plans to meet each other.
Huh? Yes.
Kokichi was confirming the specific place they were supposed to meet. I couldn't hear the whole conversation, but I'm certain the rooftop was mentioned. So then Miu gets Kaito to disappear from the rooftop so they can meet in secret. But it's strange, they were planning to meet on the mansion's rooftop. Why did Miu volunteer to search the area around the chapel?
You're right.
Either way, she shouldn't have been able to get to the rooftop. She was searching the area around the chapel, which is where we found her avatar. No bridge across the river, she could not have gone from the chapel to the mansion. There is something strange about this.
Shuichi.
See, we're finishing investigating this place.
Okay.
We still have to investigate the roof, though. There's something I wanted to ask. Can our avatars hide objects? Oh, it seems like you can put stuff in your clothes here, just like the real world. So what are we gonna do next? Are we going back to the real world already? Before that, I need to look at the rooftop.
As I thought.
I don't really... If you want to investigate, go ahead and do that, Shuichi. Yeah, you're right. We're doing it.
Shuichi.
Please give the crash trial everything you've got and see us through to the end. I'll do my best as well, of course. I like his little, robot, cheek split thingy. I can at least do that. I'm a detective after all. So it seems interesting that they planned all this out and they didn't go after Shuichi, because they were right. In all the previous games, we were just some guy that was okay at investigating. Now we are the ultimate detective, so it's really interesting that no one's gone after Shuichi yet. Interesting and suspicious.
Shuichi!
Hey, shoot, what was that about?
Sorry.
I just wanted to see if I could log out, if you could log out using the cell phone.
Jeez.
Well, tell me, that was bad for my heart. So I got logged out. I panicked and rushed back here.
Okay.
Stop it.
Don't interfere with the investigation.
No.
Wait, why'd you guys come back? Did you already finish investigating?
Um,
Well, I wanted to investigate the rooftop next. What's important about the rooftop? Wasn't me at the chapel the whole time? We found it on the ground next to it. Now, let's believe it. Wow, everyone's just like, Kaito, stop trying to think. Shuichi's better at it. I felt kind of bad for him, actually.
It'll be okay.
Shuichi can do it he's the ultimate detective, after all. You're gonna be like that, then do whatever you want. Investigate the rooftop or whatever. Shuichi's my sidekick. In other words, his deductions are my deductions. And my deductions are his.
Hey now.
No, we're sharing. It's just he never contributes, so it's kind of like stealing. What? Some credit stealing bully?
I mean,
I'm investigating Miu's avatar since I got interrupted last time.
sorry. Well then.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's never not let me look at other things before. They're really controlling what information I can gather. You and Kokichi were supposed to meet at this very rooftop. The person in charge of searching this area, Kaito, is forcibly logged out.
It's true.
I mean, it's the case, but I should inspect the binoculars. I can see this building's at the top of a hill. I can't see past this point because of the map loading point. But that's strange. That loading point would be right in the middle of the world. What's wrong, Himiko?
Okay.
When murders happen in a mansion in the snow like this, there are always locked room mystery cases created by pile up snow, isn't that right? What's the point you can't leave footprints in the snow in this world? Himiko has such an interesting way of looking at things. There's nothing that seems to resemble a clue. You should have arranged to meet with Kokichi here. Or at least confirm whether or not she really came to the rooftop. Or there's no clues which indicate that.
Hey.
Think you could get up and down from the roof from outside the mansion?
No.
No, that would be very difficult. Oh, interesting though, but you can get onto the roof. Which is rather high. The edge of the roof is roughly the height of a 3 to 4 story building.
You're right.
Yeah, it certainly is too high to jump.
I thought.
It would have been impossible to climb from the outside. I wonder if you rolled something down this rooftop, would it get enough momentum to punch through? As they say it's the edge of the world, but we don't know that for a fact. A little different than how I remember. It's as if something's missing. I think this is the first time, so I don't remember. There was a box up here. I'll have to go look and find out what that was. Because I'm recording everything, because I'm amazing. I haven't talked to you yet.
Hey.
What's wrong, Samuki? Look at that door. It's locked. Oh, it's a thumb turn lock. It's easy to lock. It seems like you can't lock it unless you're on the outside. And look, the keyhole's on this side of the door. Isn't it usually the other way around?
No.
I've seen this before. It's to prevent you from locking yourself
I
out.
see.
Is it important information? I'll inspect everything. All that's left now is... Oh, there you are. I was looking for you.
Huh? I told
Montaro finished analyzing the programs. He told me to gather everyone.
Shuichi!
We should probably head back. Our investigation is pretty much done, right?
Okay.
Shuichi!
I don't want to say goodbye to my avatar. It's so hilarious how she, like, wanted to be herself and she hated the idea of an avatar, and now she's just like, but my avatar.
Then... Hey!
Well, you're definitely more reliable in a class trial than out. All the others think so, too.
Huh?
Well,
I'm not trying to sound like Kaito, but I don't think you should carry all the burden alone. You're Shuichi Saihara before you're a detective. Don't ever forget that. It's interesting they become such good friends, because theoretically, as the ultimate assassin, like, they're natural enemies. You know, the detective is the one that tries to stop the assassin. I shouldn't be talking. Though my identity is Maki Harukawa to be an assassin.
Thank you.
Do you want to die? Was she being considerate just now? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm thinking, but I think I just do random stuff. It's just, we should lock out too.
by the way,
Did something happen between you and Kaito?
Huh?
well,
When we logged out a little while ago, he looked like he was in a bad mood.
Sorry.
I want to go get Kaito. I could have at least said Kaito, so he... I guess I shouldn't interrupt his investigation, though. Pulled a device off my head, and the real world appeared before me. How did Maki beat me here? Is that relevant? Because she was still in the room when I logged out, and yet she's standing there.
Shuichi!
Well, is it the real world way better than some virtual reality? Anyway, I felt so lonely that you were out. I apologize for making me feel unloved.
Hey!
Hey, there's something I wanted to ask you. Huh? Totally didn't draw anything out in your tummy while you were logged in, okay? Oh, on your tummy. Not draw something out of your tummy.
Huh? It's a lie.
I'm kidding. What do you want to ask?
Is that alright?
You planned to meet with Miu on the roof, right? Did you end up meeting her? Oh, so you know about that. Impressive, Mr. Ultimate Detective.
Okay.
Well, then I'll tell you what happened. Never met up with Miu, as I couldn't get to the roof because it was locked.
Huh?
After I gave up and went back out to the salon to search for the secret outside door. You doubting me?
That's...
Can someone verify you were at the salon the entire time? Did you meet anyone there? No, I don't have a witness.
right?
But you can also say there's no witness who can prove I wasn't there.
Hey!
Unless you saw the salon empty yourself?
Anyway,
Anyway, it's up to you whether you want to believe me or not.
Shuichi!
But you shouldn't doubt, like, we're partners. But you said you didn't want to be my partner. Did Kokichi meet with Miu or not? Is he lying or telling the truth? Well, he's always lying. Again, though, the fact they gave me a truth bullet about it, we'll have to see what it says, but truth bullets themselves cannot lie. Again, I'm not sure if I talked to everyone or not. I guess they might say something relevant. Maki, how did you beat me here? I still don't have an answer to that. This is goodbye to my avatar. Why is she almost more emotional about this than she was about Tenko? Like, Tenko she only brought up like twice. She's brought this up 3 times. Where's your love me yet? Now we can call him Monotaro because he needs to tell us something. I'm able to finish Miu's avatar again. What are we gonna do? I can't clear my name like this. Oh, that is something I hadn't thought about, that he's kind of the prime suspect. Although, I'm not thinking about it because in my mind, he's the only one that is absolutely innocent.
Shuichi!
And yet, we never found out where Monokuma hid the secret of the outside world. Seems like it wasn't in the chapel either. More importantly, we need to do something about Miu's case. Did you speak to Kokichi about his meeting with Miu?
Okay.
Oh, that was him asking. He didn't meet with me. He claimed the rooftop was locked, so he couldn't enter. Yeah, but this is Kokichi we're talking about. He could very well be lying. There's no time for... How come no one wants to do investigation? That's not gentlemanly at all. Alright, Monotaro, what do you got for me? I've been waiting for you, Shuichi. I'm sure Maki already told, but I finally finished analyzing the program. Starting to put together a lot of important facts, so here they are. First, the purpose of example with this program was Mommy, like we suspected. She has such a way of writing her code, so I knew it was her right away. You've examined her code before? Huh? I guess her personality wasn't the only eccentric thing about her.
Got a minute?
A few things, but I'll share the first one with you. Said Mommy deleted a lot of objects in the Killing Game Simulator. In that case, why was there a hammer? Asked you, only the hammer was left. Why was it left, huh? The way the program was written makes it seem like she did it on purpose. Did she add anything? Found a cell phone in the virtual world. Now, that cell phone was an original feature of the program. Yeah, so it seems like Miu is the one that deleted Kaito. All Mommy added were 2 maps. The rest were already part of the program. So I guess we could actually ask Kaito if he activated the lock on the roof. Because if he didn't, then it shouldn't have been locked. He was the only one up there. By the way, while we're talking about objects, I want to ask you something. We used a signboard across the river. Could we have used something else as a bridge? Well, I didn't really see anything that could have been used as a bridge across the river.
Okie dokie.
Well, it also looks like she tampered with certain parameters of the program. Everything in that program is categorized as either a human or a non-human object. Of course, everyone's avatars was assigned the human parameter. But for some reason, Mommy gave her avatar the non-human parameter. Interesting. Which should have, in theory, let her get, like, bypass the water. And what happens when you become an object? Well, the difference is only for identification purposes, so it probably didn't affect anything. No, I'm almost positive that's what lets her cross the water. Perhaps that has something to do with the next thing she tampered with? Mommy added a wall that didn't originally exist in the program. The coordinates of the virtual wall represents the x-axis and the y-axis. See, Mommy added a wall that runs the length of the y-axis. And so originally there wasn't that split there. There were 2 walls in all 4 directions, and 2 down the y-axis. Oh, walls in all 4 directions.
Hey.
But you're positive there was only one? Yeah, it's definitely the only one. I don't really understand what that means, she added a wall. Which wall was the one you added? What was the world like originally? You said there wasn't anything past the wall. Was that another lie? Oh, it looks like the extra wall is given a special setting. So it allows non-human objects to pass through it. That's very interesting. So are those all the things she tampered with? Oh, there was one more thing. One of you guys also had a strange setting given to their avatar. Saying so they would be unable to move if Mommy touched them. That's really weird. Apparently, none of them... That didn't happen because no one lost the ability to move. So if Miu touched them, their avatar would be paralyzed? It was Kokichi. Was she planning on touching Kokichi? Well, duh, I never touched Miu in that world. I see. I didn't even notice. I think he's protesting too much about his innocence there. So I got a report. Well, do you think it'll help you guys out?
Okay.
I should probably tell you, those are probably not related to the case. Some sort of avatar user error occurred when y'all logged in the first time. I knew it. This is what changed the personalities around. The content of the error unknown, so I can't provide details. But something strange definitely happened to someone's avatar when y'all logged in. What error could it be? That's important information. Yep. Here we go. We're going to the actual trial. Interesting. I actually didn't even see Monokuma for a second because he's reversed.
That thing where everyone stands in a circle and talks about the dead body. Low energy? Me? No, I'm excited. Really.
I wonder how Monokuma ended up in the program. Because I feel like Miu is in Monokuma's body right now, which is why he was so lewd earlier.
I'm just taking a little break right now. When I'm done, I'll be my usual energized self. Yep, I'll be way more energized.
Poor Monokuma.
Anyway, that's all.
Hey!
You seem like we don't have to do a class trial, you know. But it's going to start, huh? We no can stop it anymore?
You're right.
No, we can't.
So,
I can tell you guys, but I don't want any of you to forget. I'm your friend. You can't decide we're friends. Friendship has to be. It's like launching a nuke. You have to turn both keys at once, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go to feel relieved. Don't worry, Monotaro. Shuichi will get revenge for Miu's death.
that's so mean.
He'll get revenge by finding the culprit among us.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. When the class trial's over, I hope we can all get to know each other better. That's the kind of line that triggers a death flag.
Okay.
I want to Yeah, he's gonna die. First, I want to make up for my past mistakes. Meeting you all is really...
Sorry.
Sorry. I'll save for after class trial's finished. Wave the flag, Himiko. Huh? I heard a thing Oh, God damn it, Monotaro.
All right.
I'll go check it out all by myself.
So long. Farewell.
What did you say?
This is stupid.
Quit screen. Let's hurry up and go.
Going to do his best.
Going to do his best too. Going to do his best to be even a little bit useful for everyone.
Wow.
I'll definitely expose the culprit this time. With the emotions, we headed to the Shrine of Judgment. Okay. Damn it. I thought it was longer than that. So, here are my thoughts. Having just finished the investigation. God, go into the thing. The big question is what Miu's plan was. So, Kokichi knew about the virtual world as well as Miu did. I certainly feel as though Miu was worried that Kokichi would try and kill her. And so she put in a safeguard that if she touched Kokichi, Kokichi would stop moving. So... I also feel like she set it up so that she could move around in ways everyone else couldn't. I feel confident that the extra wall she added allowed her to go past where we thought the wall was, and possibly there's a bridge down there or something which she used to get down below the river. Also, just the fact that she was non-human possibly means that she could just circumvent the river itself. That's also a very, very, very big possibility. Possibly even the Y-axis bridge she added was, allowed her to climb the roof from the outside. If it was like, she used it kind of like to jump up and grab the wall, if it was, instead of a massive wall, but just like a beam. Can I not look at this now? I hate that. It's like, I guess you can just look at it here, but I would like to pull the picture up. So there's a delay when she logged in. I feel like whenever you logged in, it would have to be a... Because Kokichi and Gonta logged in at the same time. I don't think it's possible Kokichi and Gonta had their personalities switched. Kokichi also logged out last, which may be right. There was a 2-minute delay. Like, I don't know what the delay was. What did Kibo say? That's the other question. Okay, but okay, I'm not going to go through and try and figure this all out now. I'm just going over my initial preliminary thoughts. She went in there, she had it set up so she could circumnavigate between the two. That's also why she got rid of the plank, because they were planning something or other, her and Kokichi. She then went over and got to the roof after Kaito had been logged out. What I don't know is... At some point, she went back across the river after they met, and Kokichi followed her. And then the sound seems to be related with the cell phone that Miu had the entire time. Which I wonder if it was transmitting in the real world like I brought up earlier. I don't know. I feel like this lattice is what was in the storage room. All right, so I'm gonna have to consider this a little bit more, come up with a better solution, and hopefully I can get a better guess as to what actually happened. I will be back for my final thoughts in like a few seconds after I go over this. I don't want you to sit here and watch me just like scroll through this aimlessly. And then next time we start the trial. Look forward to it, everybody. Hey there, guys. Welcome back to my theory regarding this trial. I've got one. I've looked over the evidence, and I'm pretty sure I've got most of it figured out, although I'm not super convinced. So, I don't think that the poison that we found has anything whatsoever to do with this crime. The big reason is it causes subjectal hemorrhage, makes the victim's eyes completely bloodshot. When we saw Miu, like, actually killed, her eyes were... there was no red in them at all. So I don't think the poison is complete red herring. I don't think it was used in any small way. So, what actually happened is that Miu put up that wall in order to prevent people from accessing the sides of the map. It says she only put up one wall, which confuses me a little bit. But she probably put it up kind of directly on the edges of the map that she drew. Because realistically, like right along the... I think that originally this is all one map. I think it's really one room, and then whenever you get to where the wavy line is, you like warp to the other side of the other map. But I actually think it's really just one big room. And the wall there gives the perception of it being two rooms, because no one can cross between the two sides, going from the, like, east from the chapel or west from the mansion. And so we think of it as being two different zones, but in actuality I think it's usually just one zone with a barrier that stops us from going between what we... because remember, Miu drew the map, and so it's really just to color our perceptions. Because she's a non-player character, she is able to go west from the chapel, or, you know, and arrive east of the mansion. You can kind of see that because when you look at the ridge, it definitely does look as though the ridge, you know, will perfectly continue onto the other side of the map. Although the forest, I kind of wish there was a little bit more forest on the other side. Although again, she could have just omitted the forest to make it not as clear. Again, because she drew the damn map. That's also why, as the river runs, that's why the sign ended up over on that side, because the river just goes through and then eventually the sign gets clogged up right there. Regardless, so what actually happened is that Miu went and was planning to meet with Kokichi after removing the signpost in order to... I don't actually know what their plan was, but Kokichi wanted to meet with her there. She avoids Gonta, which shouldn't be too hard because Gonta can't actually see beyond, you know, so she can just kind of walk in and go directly up onto the roof and in, and go just look in the forest in the back, so it should be pretty easy. Goes up to the roof and runs into someone on the roof. The someone is who I'm not absolutely perfect on. But she goes up to the roof, runs into someone. Whoever the someone is chokes her, which is why in the real world she's kind of reaching up towards her neck. Again, I'm not super sure about that part, because she's definitely seen reaching towards her neck, but if she's logged in, her body shouldn't be doing anything in response to what's happening in the world. That's the whole reason that her consciousness was transferred, right? But regardless, I mean, we do see her reaching up as though someone's trying to strangle her. So someone actually does strangle her, puts her body on the lattice, and puts it onto the roof over on the side. Her body goes down on the lattice on the roof, kind of cranking as it goes down, hits the ground over to the side of the chapel. Due to the snow, it slides on and it hits the ground on the side of the, you know, between the chapel and the mansion, goes on, eventually smashes into the side of the chapel. Again, we can actually hear it from the mansion because it's all one big room. So we can actually hear things happening on the side of the chapel because it's not actually two zones like we thought it was. So that's what I believe happened. Now we get to the question of who actually done it. Who did it? Well, there are a couple of people that are absolutely innocent of this. Obviously, I'm going to have to go with the fact I didn't do it because I was with myself the whole time. Stupid trial 1. Kaito could not have done it because Kaito was logged out like an hour before this even took place. So we know from the logout log that, you know, we know from the crime scene that she was killed about 6:30 in the morning, and Kaito was logged out at like 5:15 in the morning. So he was forcibly logged out. We also know he was logged out with Miu's phone. So there's no way Kaito could have done it. Gonta is possible. Kokichi is theoretically possible because the big thing that makes people innocent is that anyone that was on the chapel side, like Kibo, like Himiko, like Maki, all of them were not actually able to get back to the mansion where the crime took place. So it can't be any of these three. It also actually can't be Kokichi because Kokichi's avatar can't touch Miu. If he had touched Miu, then his avatar would have stopped moving. Which means the only actual suspects we have are Gonta and Samugi. However, Samugi was standing with me at the time we heard Miu's body crash into the side of the chapel. So it also can't be her. So the only suspect I'm really left with is Gonta. The problem with this is that the crime requires a lot of knowledge of how the world is set up, which Gonta simply does not have. So I don't actually understand how Gonta could be the killer, but based on my understanding of the crime, he's the only one that is able to be the killer. Everyone else has reasons why they actually can't be the killer. So I'm going to have to go with Gonta as my guess, although I'm very unhappy with it, because I don't really understand why, like, how Gonta was able to pull this off, because he didn't know enough about the situation to be able to pull it off. But that's what we end up with, and next time we go to the trial and we find out if I'm right. Look forward to it, guys.